Russia hides deserts in Siberia, pink lakes, frozen caves, and even a river that turns red. Most people never hear about any of it. In this video, you'll discover 50 of the strangest, most beautiful places and traditions in Russia, from singing glaciers to book vending machines, watch till the end to catch the wild red river, and the underground kingdom of ice. Fact 1. A beach you won't believe belongs to Russia. The Curonian Spit is a 98-kilometer sandbar on the Baltic Sea with giant dunes that look like a mini Sahara. Part of it lies in Russia's Kaliningrad region, and it's protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Fact 2. Imagine a desert in Siberia. The Chara Sands in Transbaikal is a tiny natural desert of golden dunes surrounded by snowy mountains and dark forest. It covers only a few square kilometers, making it one of the strangest landscape mashups on Earth. Fact 3. Rocks that look like a stone army. The Lena pillars in Yakutia are towering rock formations along the Lena River that rise over 100 meters like a stone forest. They formed over hundreds of millions of years and today are a protected national park and UNESCO site. Fact 4. A hole so big, pilots avoid flying over it. Near Mirny in Yakutia, the massive Mir diamond mine is an open pit hole so huge it can create dangerous air turbulence for helicopters. It was once one of the largest diamond producers in the world and is clearly visible from space imagery. Fact 5. A boiling valley in the land of ice. Kamchatka's Valley of Geysers is a 6-kilometer basin with around 90 geysers, second in size only to Yellowstone's geyser field. Hot springs and steam vents dot this remote volcanic valley in Russia's far east. Fact 6. A lake that looks like it's from another planet. Lake Elton near the Kazakhstan border is a shallow, hyper-salty lake that often turns pink from special algae and mineral crystals. Its salt content is much higher than the ocean, and people have used its waters and mud for spa treatments for centuries. Fact 7. A forest that sings in the wind. In parts of Karelia, strong winds whistle through hollow trees and rocky cliffs, creating haunting musical tones. Locals compare it to a natural pipe organ playing deep in the forest. Fact 8. A real-life mammoth freezer. Yakutia's deep permafrost has preserved thousands of woolly mammoth remains, some with fur and tissue intact. These finds turned the region into a hotspot for paleontologists and ancient DNA research. Fact 9. An Arctic sea that refuses to freeze. Despite being inside the Arctic Circle, parts of the Barents Sea stay ice-free year-round thanks to warm Atlantic currents. That makes it a critical route for northern shipping and fishing. Fact 10. A flaming mountain that never goes out. In the Caucasus region, natural gas seeps from rocks and burns at the surface, creating burning slopes that stay lit for years. These eternal flames inspired local legends long before geology explained them. Fact 11. A city at the edge of the world. Norilsk is one of the northernmost cities on Earth, built above the Arctic Circle on mineral-rich ground. It's reachable mainly by air or river and spends weeks each year in polar night without sunrise. Fact 12. A city of scientists hidden in the forest. Akademgorodok near Novosibirsk was founded in the late 1950s as a science town full of institutes and universities. It remains a major Russian center for research in math, physics, and technology. Fact 13. A bell tower rising out of a river. Near Kalyazin, an old church bell tower stands alone in the middle of a Volga River reservoir. The surrounding town center was flooded in the 1900s, leaving the tower as an eerie landmark for passing boats. Fact 14. A street grid designed for canals that never came. Vasilievsky Island in St. Petersburg was originally planned with Venice-style canals instead of streets. The canals were never built, but the long, straight lines of the street grid still reveal the old plan. Fact 15. An airport beside a giant hole. Mirny Airport in Yakutia sits right next to the enormous Mir Diamond Pit, forcing carefully planned flight paths. From the air, the runway looks like a thin strip next to a man-made canyon. Fact 16. A rumored second metro under Moscow. For decades, stories have circulated about a hidden Metro 2 network beneath Moscow built for secure evacuation routes. Its layout has never been publicly confirmed, which keeps the mystery alive. Fact 17. A salt cathedral under your feet. Near Solikamsk and Berezniki, old salt mines contain chambers with multicolored walls that look like swirled marble paintings. Some tunnels resemble underground salt cathedrals, with naturally patterned arches and halls. Fact 18. Caves where ice never melts. The Kungur. Ice cave in the Urals holds frozen formations, ice pillars, and underground lakes that persist all year. Even in summer, visitors need jackets because the cave stays below freezing. Fact 19. A lake so dangerous, it was once off-limits. Lake Karachay in the Chelyabinsk region became infamous in the mid-1900s for extreme contamination and was later filled and sealed. Over time, nature began slowly reclaiming the area surrounding the now covered lake. Fact 20. Caves that seem to argue with the wind. In some Russian limestone and ice caves, shifting air pressure makes eerie whistles and moans as wind moves through narrow openings. Locals long called them talking caves before scientists linked the sounds to air currents. Fact 21. The country that celebrates New Year twice. Many Russians celebrate New Year on January 1st and then Old New Year on January 14th using the old Julian calendar date. The second holiday is usually a quieter, family-focused end to the festive season. Fact 22. A winter forecast. From a cat. Some Siberian folk beliefs say seeing a white cat in late autumn is a sign of a snowy, cold winter ahead. For centuries, people in remote regions have used animal behavior as informal weather predictions. Fact 23. Trees that hold love stories. In cities like Moscow and Sochi, newlyweds tie ribbons or hang padlocks on special wedding trees or metal tree sculptures. They often throw away the key to symbolize an unbreakable bond. Fact 24. Names that show respect in every sentence. Russian full names usually include a given name, a patronymic from the father's first name, and a surname. Using the patronymic in speech signals politeness and respect, especially with elders or teachers. Fact 25. A single letter with its own fan club. The Cyrillic letter Yo has sparked campaigns to keep it officially used instead of being replaced by Ye. Supporters say it prevents spelling confusion and protects linguistic heritage. Fact 26. A birthday starts with a question. At children's birthdays, adults often ask, Skolko tebe let? How old are you? Before gifts are opened. The child proudly announcing their new age becomes part of the celebration. Fact 27. Knocking to invite good luck. Some Russians gently knock on the door of a new home or hotel room before entering for the first time. It's seen as a small ritual to bring good spirits in with you. Fact 28. The unexpected cheese boom. In the 2010s, small artisanal cheese producers spread across regions like Moscow Oblast and Krasnodar. They began crafting European-style cheeses from local milk, creating a fast-growing cheese culture. Fact 29. Photo shoots. With bears. In a few northern tourist spots, trained bears appear in supervised photo sessions with handlers always nearby. These events often raise money and awareness for wildlife care and education. Fact 30. Jumping into icy water for good luck. Each January, thousands of people dip into cross-shaped holes cut in frozen rivers to mark Orthodox Epiphany. Many see the near-freezing plunge as a symbol of spiritual cleansing and strength. Fact 31. Vending machines that sell stories. Some Moscow metro stations have vending machines that dispense small books instead of snacks. They offer cheap classic literature so commuters can grab something to read on the go. Fact 32. Postal service. Powered by reindeer. In remote Arctic areas, mail and supplies may still be delivered in winter by reindeer or dog sled. These traditional routes keep isolated communities connected when roads can't. Fact 33. A town that worships chocolate. Pokrov is home to a chocolate museum that showcases the history of cocoa and Russian sweets. Visitors can see chocolate sculptures and sample local treats in one place. Fact 34. Watching the northern lights from bed. In the Murmansk region, some hotels and glamping sites offer glass-roofed igloos for viewing the aurora. Guests can lie in warm beds while the northern lights dance overhead. Fact 35. Aquariums made entirely of ice. At Siberian winter festivals, artists carve clear lake ice into giant aquarium shapes lit from within by colored lights. At night, the glowing blocks look like frozen otherworldly fish tanks. Fact 36. Chess in the snowstorm. Parks in cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg have outdoor chess tables used year-round. Enthusiasts often play in winter, brushing snow off the board between moves. Fact 37. A museum dedicated entirely to cats. In Tula, a cat museum displays hundreds of cat-themed paintings, toys, and figurines. It celebrates how beloved cats are in Russian homes and culture. Fact 38. Messages hidden under city streets. During late Soviet years, some projects in Moscow sealed letters and predictions in time capsules under streets and monuments. Many of the messages were written by school children for future generations to open. Fact 39. A Hall of Fame for Space Dogs. Moscow's Museum of Cosmonautics preserves equipment from early animal space missions, including those of dogs like Belka and Strelka. Their successful flights helped pave the way for human space travel. Fact 40. Villages that compete with scarecrows. In some rural regions, harvest festivals include competitions for the most creative scarecrow. Entries are dressed in funny or elaborate costumes and displayed along village roads. Fact 41. A glacier that growls. On glaciers such as Malaya Aktru in the Altai, slow ice movement creates deep rumbling and cracking sounds. Climbers sometimes call this eerie noise singing ice. Fact 42. Churches that can sail away. In certain river deltas, small wooden churches are built on floating platforms or rafts. They can be towed between islands, so several remote communities can share one chapel. Fact 43. Flowers that bloomed in space. Soviet and Russian scientists were among the first to grow plants and flowering species in orbit. These experiments proved plant life cycles can work in microgravity and informed modern space agriculture. Fact 44. An observatory buried inside a mountain. The Baksa Neutrino Observatory in the Caucasus sits deep under rock to shield its detectors from radiation. This underground location helps scientists study elusive cosmic particles called neutrinos. Fact 45. Honey gathered from tree trunks. In Bashkortostan, traditional beekeepers practice bortnichestvo, keeping bees in hollow tree hives high above the ground. They climb up to harvest aromatic forest honey that's considered especially rare. Fact 46. A church built with no nails. On Kiji Island in Lake Onega, the wooden Transfiguration Church was built in the 18th century without metal nails. Its 22 domes rely on interlocking wooden joints that have lasted for centuries. Fact 47. Surfing down volcanic ash. In Kamchatka, tourists can slide down the slopes of dormant volcanoes on boards, similar to sandboarding. The soft volcanic ash acts like dark sand, turning the descent into a natural slide. Fact 48. Buses that charge while you board. Moscow's electric buses use fast charging stations at certain stops to top up their batteries in minutes. They recharge while passengers get on and off, allowing them to run all day without long breaks. Fact 49. A river that turns red like paint. The Daldikan River near Norilsk has at times turned bright reddish when mineral-rich sediments are stirred up. From above, the color shift makes the water look almost artificially dyed. Fact 50. A museum where it's always below freezing. In Yakutsk, attractions like the Kingdom of Permafrost let visitors walk through ice tunnels kept cold by natural permafrost. Even in summer, guests explore glittering frozen sculptures in sub-zero temperatures. If you enjoy discovering hidden sides of countries like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into another unknown corner of the world. You'll always come away with new stories to tell and places to add to your dream travel list.